Hey fellas, I got this head I got from Rod. He's got a, so this their oops, wrong end. Flowtek X. I think he said it was like a copy of a GT40. So I don't know what the intake port volume is. I imagine it's around a 170 or so. But he wanted me to rub some science on them. So what I intend to do after looking at them and cleaning them up is right here in the bowl on the intake, and get rid of that little ridge right there. Make that so it's a nice smooth transition from the bowl to the valve seat. And do the same over here and address this thing here. That lip right there is pretty ugly. So we're going to make a nice smooth curve here, and then do the same thing on the exhaust. You can see that's a pretty sharp lip right there. We'll get rid of that, make it all nice and smooth and pretty it up. The port itself on the exhaust isn't bad. I mean, it reminds me of the Edelbrocks that I had in my car when I got them. So they're not bad. The port itself on the front, on the intake, is decent. It's pretty tall, actually. It goes in. I noticed it's got a little bump over here on this side, opposite where the pinch is on this side. So we'll maybe try to smooth that out. One thing I was showing Rod when he was here was how tall they are. Even just using a 1262, just to show you something. We're not porting to the intake gasket, so don't worry about that. But even with the gasket on there, it's obstructing just a little bit on the top, and it's not so bad side to side. We might try to make this wall straighter. See how it kind of got bowed in the middle. So we'll address that, and then on the top side here, what I'm going to do is use this little guy here, the cutter I got from Comp Cams. Put that on here and get rid of the boss so we can use a proper dual spring. Rod's getting dual springs from Ed at Flowtek Induction, so I'm going to send Ed a link to this video too, and so we can see what I'm planning to do to the heads, and I'll let him know if he needs the valve weights, so we can pick a good spring for him and to get rid of these garbage. This is the stock spring that came on it. I measured it. I had 320 inch-pounds at a near coil bind, and the keeper, you can see Rod might have been beating on it, but we had to really work hard to get this off. And what I found is that I think these are, maybe they're good springs, but they're pretty weak, and they got that damper on the inside. On the inside there, that's been chewing into the shim. I always put the shims up underneath the seat, not on top of it, but you can see where it was kind of eating into it right here in the middle. That was starting to come apart. Just chewed a hole in it. The top, the retainer, you can see that shiny part around the outside here. That's where the damper was hitting it. But because these are hardened, it can take that. That's kind of got a weird marker on the inside there. I don't know what that's about. Maybe Ed knows, but I suspect these are offshore pieces. And it looks like what they did was chewed into the valve a little bit. So when I took the valves out, it drug some of the valve guide with it. Where is it? Rotated. Yeah, there you go. See some of that? Live action. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to do with them. When I get done, I'll put another video up so you can see what I did with them. Oh, in the chamber, what I'm planning to do is there's a lip around here. Get rid of that. Maybe lower this part here in the middle. Feels a little bit lower. Make sure you get a good crossover during overlap, and then get rid of this around here too, and probably knock this down just a little bit. But anyway, get these done and get them back to Rod. Ed can send the springs here to me and I'll set them up, and then get it all back over to Rod and he can put them on whatever he's going to put them on. So that's it for now, fellas. Later.